going to get hit if he went for it. Mark Brown taking him out of bounds, just short of a first down.
Interesting call because Russ Francis kind of came from the other side of the field and tried to get in the pass play, make it kind of an option runner pass. Joe decided to run.
Well, that's the same play they hit earlier in that last drive. Montana makes a little play action fake in the backfield to get the linebackers flowing to the right. Francis comes back across the grain. Montana had the option that time to throw or run. That time he decided to run.
Joe Montana picks up 8, second down and 2. The ball just short of Miami's 30-yard line. Could be a change off.
Oh, he's wide open.
Wide open. That's Freddie Solomon. Bobbles the ball. Lyle Blackwood put the hit on Solomon.
That's a late call. He's calling it an incomplete pass, I
got
think.
to see this one. I agree, Lyle, I agree.
They're calling it an incomplete pass. And that was close. Let's take a look at it from the end zone. There's Solomon.
Solomon catches the ball.
There's Lyle Blackwood.
He has possession. He's trying to run with it.
That is a fumble.
That is a fumble.
That's
I guess
a tough
you can't
break.
see them all. There's 7 of them out there.
Fumble for us, a fumble for you. But for the 49ers, an incompletion. Third down and a short 3 for the 49ers. Dwight Clark splits to the left. Earlier, same situation. The 49ers put it in the air. This time they go in the ground to Wendell Tyler. He has the first down.
Oh, boy.
And much more to the 20-yard line.
Jay Brophy came over that time.
The natural tendency right now is for Miami to be saying, gee whiz, we had the fumble. We know we had the football. Come on, refs, you took one away from us. What they can't do now is worry about what happened before. They've got to confront the 49ers on this play and not worry about 2 ago.
4:25, and the clock moves. That time remaining in the first half. With the 49ers on top, 21-10. Tyler was marked at the 21-yard line. Play action again by Montana. And again, running room, but he all the time in the world to throw the ball. He gets it to Russ Francis, who's close to another 49er first down.
Composure. Wonderful composure by Montana.
3 of these offensive linemen for the 49ers are going to the Pro Bowl. Quillen, Cross, and Fonhorst. And they are giving Montana all the time he would ever need. Montana has broken his own record set in Super Bowl 16 for completions for the first half. 49ers have a 16th first down already. They are dominating here in the second quarter. This is Derek Harmon, the rookie from Cornell. Strong running, gets him close to the 5-yard line. Doug Betters was there defensively, but it is yet another 49er first down. They found something in this youngster. They got him in the 9th round out of Cornell. He broke all kinds of records up at Cornell and trailed only Ed Marinaro in rushing yardage. But to get him in the 9th round, we watched him develop over the season. We had the 49ers early in the year against Joe Theismann's Washington Redskins, and this youngster has really developed into quite a football. Derek Harmon, and he has just given the 49ers another first down goal to go. Tyler to the 3-yard line.
That's good, hard running that time.
Wendell Tyler. Not all that big, 5'10", 200-pounder, but when you get up close to him and watch him, he is certainly heavily muscled, and that does not, however, keep him from the quick moves. He's just a great runner. He really is.
See a late defensive change coming in for the Dolphins. Possibly trying to confuse 49ers.
Clock moving at 2:10. 49ers have 2 timeouts. Miami 3. Roger Craig inside and just pulls his way into the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Could be trouble right here in River City.
Roger Craig taking it in with good, strong running. And we talked so much about Miami's offensive line and the 49ers offensive line now doing a complete number on the Miami defense. They're protecting Montana. They're opening holes at the line for the running backs. We look at it from the ground level.
You see the offensive surge. They just really push the Dolphin people back. There's the safeties coming up to support, and now Craig just with leg drive Takes it into the end zone for 6.
That was a super block by Wendell Tyler.
It really was, Frank.
Wersching splits the uprights. Things are getting sticky for Miami here in Super Bowl 19. But again, they still have the #1 offensive team over the season in the NFL. They can score so quickly with the two dupers. But so far, they have really been slowed here in the second quarter.
Colleague O.J. did his homework for this ball game. It looked like so far. He had Roger Craig being one of the standouts. He certainly has been the first half.
Joe, what's going on in the mind of a young quarterback? He has never been in this situation this year.
Joe's
perhaps
not a young
in his
career.
Well, I was once, long time ago, and I almost remember what that was like. But the most important thing now, I'm sure, is he can't take it all on himself. He got here with great receivers and with a lot of help from his teammates. The things that he has to do now is just relax, Dan, let things happen. There's plenty of football left. You got 2 minutes and 5 seconds left in this half. Get a good drive and get yourself feeling comfortable again. The most important thing is to get the rhythm back.
Deep is Fulton Walker for Miami at the 4-yard line. Flag is down as Walker gets to the 25-yard line. San Francisco already has become the first team in Super Bowl history to score 3 touchdowns in a quarter. You see the indication, holding. It'll work against Miami. He's still with an outward appearance of being calm and cool is Dan Marino.
One thing I'd like to point out, Frank, is San Francisco has been notorious this year. I'll tell you in a second.
Here's Pat Haggerty.
Holding number 52.
Sanders Shiver. Continue, Joe.
They've been a football team that has really got out to fast starts and settled back into football games. That should give the Miami Dolphins at least an opportunity to feel that they do have something going.
The 2-minute warning has been announced to both benches. It is a very smiling San Francisco 49er bench. Brian Gifford along with Joe Theismann and Don Meredith watching the San Francisco 49ers romp rather freely here in the second quarter. They have a 28-10 lead over the Miami Dolphins in Super Bowl 19. The Dolphins first down and 10, the ball at their own 15-yard line. They have 3 timeouts. And they go immediately to the shotgun, and we would not be surprised to see them with the hurry-up offense once again. Underneath, Nathan. And Nathan, short of the first down, out near the 24-yard line in the arms of Tom Holmoe as the 49ers, anticipating the no-huddle offense, have their 6 setbacks, defensive backs in the game. On 2nd and 1. Marino. Complete, gets it to Joe Rose, the tight end. He'll have the first down over the 30 near the 32. Time remaining in the first half as Miami still continues to hoard those timeouts, as well they should. Shotgun again. Marino underneath again, and this is Nat Moore. And Nat Moore to the 40-yard line.
Now called timeout.
You bet.
There you go.
Marino uses one of the 3 timeouts. Nat Moore got about 8 out of that to bring up 2nd down and 2 as Dan Marino moves over to visit with his head coach Don Shula. Right now, let's join Tom Landry once again.
You know, Jeff, this is one of the things that are real difficult coaching. When you fall behind like this, what do? You're right before the halftime, and what's going to happen? Well, you're going to have to bring your team in there, and you're going to have to tell them to stay on their game plan, keep their confidence up, and everything's going to work out the second half.
You might tell them that, but I wonder if they're going to believe that. Things have really gone for the 49ers here in the second quarter. Don't forget, tonight is the night for the premiere of a very special new ABC series, Magruder and Loud. So don't miss it. Tonight is our Super Bowl day coverage goes right through the evening. So be with us tonight, Magruder and Loud. Don Shula, he's been in a lot of situations over the 22 years that he has been a head coach, the last 15 years at Miami. I think perhaps the most remarkable statistic about Don Shula is that in those 22 years, he's only had 1 losing season. This, of course, is his 6th Super Bowl team that he has brought to the big game. He did it once with Baltimore, and he has now done it 5 times with Miami.
Dan's got himself in a working position now. He'll be able to move the football in. The thing they at least want to get out of this drive is 3 points. They've got to get some points on this drive just to keep their morale and momentum up.
2nd down and 2. Miami with 2 timeouts. 1:05. We'll keep the clock in for you. From the shotgun, Stevenson in front of Marino for protection. And out of bounds, incomplete. Mark Clayton tried to dance along the sidelines, but he could not keep both feet in.
Isn't that an unusual move for, look at the sideline camera. Goes up to catch the ball, has to have them both in when he comes down. Couldn't quite handle it. Nice call.
Shula would say he can verticalize 39 inches.
That's right.
But you got to come down in bounds.
Great camera work.
That's an unusual offensive set for Miami to roll Marino out like that. Of course, he brought a good guy with him. He had Stevenson with him.
Will cover from the end zone. Keep in mind, this is also has to be considered a first down because it is 3rd and 2. But that's the way Miami thinks. Nathan spots the first down marker, steps out of bounds at about the 43-yard line, killing the clock with 54 seconds remaining in the first half. Keena Turner is out there defensively for the 49ers.
I think Keena would like to have another shot at that one, Frank. He kind of slid through his arms, and I believe he would have had him for certainly behind the first down marker.
Keena Turner, one of the fine outside linebackers who has great capabilities for covering.
Wouldn't be surprised
out of the backfield.
I would be surprised Marino tries to work inside a little bit. He's got 2 timeouts and quite a bit of time left. Now he's going to roll to the
left. On first down, Dan Marino under pressure. Fires a shot. Yes, they say it's complete. It was Mark Clayton. This time he gets the feet down in bounds. He'll have a first down for Miami inside the 45 near the 42. He got the pressure. The pressure coming from Jeff Fuller, the rookie safety. And that's just great concentration.
It's also a good call. You got to remember how quickly that referee had to make that call, and he made it right on the spot, and there it was.
They're 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10 right. There you can see Marino moving out of the pocket. A little bit unusual for Dan to be able to move around as much.
15-yard pickup. The first down is marked at the 42-yard line. 48 seconds remaining in the half. Shotgun once again, and we'll cover it from the end zone. Marino, this time throwing low to Duper, who again was open. It'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
Joe, do you see anything different in Dan's delivery? Does he look like he might be hesitating a little bit?
He was. I think when you're young, as young as he is and has the arm that he has, sometimes you see the receiver and then you let the ball go. He's pretty much done it all year. But in this kind of a football game, the working mechanism of the delivery doesn't necessarily come exactly the way you want it to.
And working against a secondary that is made up of entirely a Pro Bowl bound unit. They react so quickly. 2nd and 10. Shotgun. Marino. Oh, what a catch. Joe Rose, who played a couple of big games here. They call it that out here when he played for California against Stanford. And he got a Miami first down at the 12-yard line. And a timeout is called by Dan Marino. 30-yard pickup, and that was a great shot by Dan Marino. Rose was not that poorly covered. Watch the quarterback as we put him up in the corner of the right. And here is Joe Rose, the best of the tight end receivers for Miami.
And Keena Turner, the best of the cover linebackers, is right with him. There, Marino puts the ball the only place you can, a little bit behind Turner. Williamson coming in to make the hit. Hicks, everybody's around him. He just comes down with the football.
There's a lot of red jerseys. There really were. And that's what Marino has been knocked a little bit for. He says he always throws. It looks like he's throwing into coverage. Whether he did that time or not, I'm not sure.
9 out of 10 times, it seems like his guys are coming down, so why not?
That's right.
That was a brilliant read because he was able to go to Joe Rose even though he was covered by Keena Turner, and he put it right on the money. Very important touchdown, I would have to say, right here. The Dolphins trailing 28-10, 33 seconds remaining. Miami has 1 timeout. That remains in the first half. They marked it at the 12-yard line. Marino has talked it over with Don Shula.
They've been the best of any team in the football this year, scoring touchdowns when they get inside the 20. So that's where they are now.
Mark Duper goes up to the right. It is Mark Clayton to the left. The 4 wide receivers are in for Miami. And that time Marino had to hurry as the safety blitz for the 49ers was on. Dwight Hicks right in Marino's face.
They had a couple of them coming. You had Jeff Fuller who'd come in there also. Frank, they just threw it at him. And once again, you didn't see him sacked, but he got hit.
Hey, there just are not enough men to pick them all up when they come on a safety blitz when you have 4 wide receivers. You just have to count on getting the ball to one of them before you are hit. That time, Marino just had to throw it away. Time remaining in the first half. 10th play in this drive. All 9 have been passes. Marino under pressure again. Tony Nathan. And Tony Nathan is hammered by Keena Turner. Right about at the line of scrimmage.
Niners did a good job of faking a blitz that time.
They've got Dan thinking a little bit right now. He got hit the last time out, and that's one thing about it. Once you get the ball off and you do get hit, here you'll see him. He starts to look downfield. Now he makes a late adjustment, says, hold, over here. Does a nice job coming off, but it's still just a little bit late.
Don't say that. Blaming him. That was Fred Dean, 74, that was looking at him right eyeball to eyeball.
Make you change your mind.
Yeah.
We talk so much about the San Francisco and Miami offenses, but the 49er defense has reacted rather well. No timeouts now remain for the Miami Dolphins. There are 20 seconds on the clock, and one has to speculate that if you are unable to make the first down or get the touchdown, what do you do? Do you think in terms of 3 points, Joe?
You have to. I think you have to think in terms of scoring some points. You finally got your momentum back. You've got your offense back in a position where they're moving the football, something they've had trouble doing in the second quarter. And with 20 seconds to go, you don't want to come away empty. That way you leave yourself 18 points down. You may not say the difference between 18 and 15 is much, but it is when you score at the end of the half.
And perhaps even more important is the fact that they've been able to move the ball. They really struggled through much of the second quarter. And Marino with a final word of advisement from head coach Don Shula, stepping back into the huddle once again. 3rd down and about 12, and we are going to watch it once again from the end zone. And when you cover Miami, you realize this is not a bad place from which to watch it, because they do spread that field out.
What you can see, of course, you can see those patterns that the receivers are trying to run.
Clayton is left, Cooper is right.
Yeah.
Shotgun, looking for Clayton. And it was Ronnie Lott in the face of Mark Clayton. Incomplete, and the field goal unit without hesitation is sent on to the field by Don Shula.
I would assume that his strategy was, we've done it so many times this year, let's just put him one-on-one. Ronnie Lott maybe the weakest of the man-to-man coverage, but he didn't hesitate, did he?
I don't necessarily think it was just Ronnie Lott's ability to cover the pass. Clayton has caught pass after pass after pass like that for touchdowns. He just tried it again.
Keep in mind, Don Strock is the holder. This will be a 31-yard attempt. Don Strock, of course, the backup quarterback to Dan Marino. Von Schaman gets it through the uprights. He has a 37-yard field goal. He now has a 31-yard field goal. And Von Schaman, probably perhaps a sigh of relief. He's 2 for 2. 12 seconds now remaining in the first half. Fantastic halftime show coming up, as always, from the Super Bowl. Let's take a look at it once again.
I just saw him not hesitate at all. He just sets up, turns, and tries to throw the little alley-oop to his 5'9" receiver. Ronnie Lott's got good position on him, Joe.
Don't forget, he plays bigger than 5'9", though, Dan. And really, what Dan, he was going to go out there right from the beginning. You could see that Lott had him single covered. They doubled the inside receivers. He just felt like what he'd do is put it up and let Clayton out jump him.
And of course, if you were thinking in terms of face guarding, unless they're waving those arms in front of the receiver, it is not face guarding. Just a good defensive play by Ronnie Lott. When you're down close to the goal line, you have got to play them very tight, and he was right there.
What was Shula's? That was, he verticalized again. He verticalized about 2 feet that time.
28-13 with 12 seconds remaining in the half. Deep are Derek Harmon, 24, Carl Monroe, number 32. And Von Schaman will kick off. Von Schaman 2 for 2 after a 9 for a 19 season.
I would say it's not enough time or timeouts left to try to onside kick the thing. Just maybe squib it down. Don't want to run back.
Well, an onside kick would give the 49ers too good a field position to take a shot. He'll just kick it low and let it run.
Along the ground. Keeping it low. Well, you can get up and run, McIntyre. There you go. Guy McIntyre. Hey, the ball is guard loose. That would be one of your great gaps. 4 seconds remain. The Dolphins will have an opportunity with 4 seconds remaining as Jim Jensen covered the fumble. It was Guy McIntyre, who works in the backfield on occasion, the rookie from Georgia.
He blocked.
Blocking back, but he is not a ball carrier.
Everybody's saying, get up, come on, you can run, get up, look out, right on the ball.
Well, once again, in a matter of seconds, we're going to see Vaughn Schaumburg.
And that's Jensen that came in there. That guy's everywhere. He's a backup quarterback, Jim Jensen.
Joe Carter making the hit, forcing the ball away.
Another 30-yard attempt.
That's a nice 3 points they just gave him back, didn't they, guys?
And Vaughn Schaumburg is now 3 for 3. Vaughn Schaumburg hits his 3rd field goal of the game. Cuts the margin to 28-16 as the gun sounds for halftime. The Dolphins almost out of it in the second quarter. Pick up 6 points, and they draw closer. We'll be back.
Oh, Frank, let's get this thing kicked off, Frank.
Now, who better to bring the Dolphins back than this man, Dan Marino? He passed for over 5,000 yards on the season, set 4 NFL records, most touchdown passes, most 300-yard games with 9, most 400-yard games with 4. And out on the outside, still to be heard from in a major way, are Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. They are the only pair of receivers ever to gain over 1,300 yards for a team in the history of the NFL. And if there ever is a team that you know can come back, it is a team as explosive as the Miami Dolphins. We're set to go the second half. Again, the 49ers leading 28-16. Fulton Walker awaiting the kick of Ray Wersching. Walker from the 7-yard line. And Fulton Walker out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. I don't think we'll see any dramatic changes, even with the score being what it is, because the Miami offense is a comeback offense. They open the game that way. So out comes Dan Marino, but credit great defensive play on the part of the 49ers in the first half. So we'll see what has transpired in the locker rooms as the Miami Dolphins are set for their first possession. The 2 setbacks: Tony Nathan, 22, Woody Bennett, number 34, Mark Clayton, of course, 83, Mark Duper, 85, and the tight end, Bruce Hardy. First down and 10. Nathan, single setback. Nathan, sweep left, and good coverage coming from the offside, Dwayne Board. There will be a loss of about a yard on the play. Make it a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 12. And Dwayne Board really is the heart of that defensive line. He has played so well over the years, the leading pass rusher for the 49ers. Look at this pursuit.
Well, they have
him
such
all
great
over.
team speed. What he does is the entire defense turns it back into that backside pursuit. Board makes the hit. Really, he hit him from behind, didn't even try and tackle him. They just ran him back into him.
2nd and long yardage. Marino back looking. Man is open, and he underthrows. Incomplete, intended for Mark Clayton. And Dan Marino has been underthrowing throughout the game. And throwing behind, he's throwing behind the breaks, throwing late. 3rd and 11 now for Dan Marino.
That was a 2nd down play that we just saw, and San Francisco had their 5th defensive back in there. I think I've watched them in the first half, Joe. They've changed it up a little bit both ways. It looks like they've got the extra backs in there right now, too, expecting that pass.
A concerned look by Don Shula. 3rd down long situation. The Dolphins from the shotgun.
They got 6 backs in there now. 1 linebacker. That's new. That's new.
Dwayne Board from around the horn, and the sack is made at the 15-yard line. And again, Marino actually had time to get that ball off, but good coverage downfield by the secondary of the 49ers.
That was a 6-back offense with 1 linebacker. The linebacker's Keena Turner, but you'll see Board, that's what he's been doing. He's the He's the guy that Frank mentioned. He's going to be back in there close to that quarterback.
And out comes Reggie Roby on 4th down, who has not kicked well today at all. He has been short. He has been unable to get the ball to turn over. He is not getting the height that we are accustomed to watching from him. So the 49ers are in good shape to have fine field position once again, as Dana McLemore is at his own 38-yard line. And again, it doesn't turn over, and McLemore will take it near the 40.
Look at that quick.
Good running. McLemore over the 45 to the 47-yard line. That was a 46-yard effort with a 7-yard return. Vince Heflin was down there quickly for the Dolphins. But nevertheless, the 49ers have good field position. Not necessarily trivia, because it could play an important role in this game. I might point out something else. In the Super Bowl competition, no team that has ever fallen behind by more than 7 points has ever come back to win it. Here we go. 1st down and 10, the 49ers. They lead 28-16. We're in the early going of the 3rd quarter. The Niners at their own 47-yard line. Montana comes out firing, throws that one away. He was about to be sacked. Kills it with the incompletion. Charles Bowser was there. Let's take a look at the stats from the 1st quarter first. And you can see San Francisco had already started to dominate there in yardage and time of possession. And then we'll switch them over to halftime for you. And it became a 49er 2nd quarter.
You look at that 2nd quarter with the 9 yards rushing for Miami and gave them a big jump.
2nd down and 10. 49ers from their 47. Both backs into the pattern.
Throw it. Go. Throw it.
Montana. Wendell Tyler, and he'll have a 1st down inside the 40-yard line of Miami near the 38. Oh, Glenn Blackwood on the stop. 14-yard pickup.
That's the big difference so far. I think he has made those plays when he has.
As you can see, it's not a design drop back at all. He just forces the defense to do things. Here you see him. He gets outside, puts the ball up. Wendell Tyler camps right in a good spot, makes the defense come up and play him, turns around, and you've got yourself another 1st down. San Francisco has just taken control of the football, and they're not going to give it up.
Montana, hot hand, 14 of 19, 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's rushed for 48 yards and the touchdowns. On 1st and 10, a reverse. Earl Cooper. And Cooper hammers his way into the 35-yard line. Gain of about 3. Good reaction on the part of the Miami defense.
Coop.
Hear that in the back. One thing Miami's defense does, they have great pursuit. Those bees get all over the football field. Here you'll see the play action is Bowers is going to move to the right. He sees it. Now he's getting back for the reverse. Now you're doing a great, Russ Francis doing a great job of trying to run him outside. He fights off the block, comes back inside. Miami has been susceptible to reverses throughout the course of the season.
34-yard line, 2nd down and 6, the 49ers prowling once again. Craig in motion. Tyler will try it inside. Bounces off one tackle. Tyler, great running, stays on his feet for the 1st down near the 27-yard line.
Rather innovative little motion play there, sending him out. Most defenses would possibly suspect a pass, but he came back with a little counter move to Wendell that time.
Hate to think about it. Wendell Tyler, of course, has had problems throughout his career with the fumbles, 13 times this season. Nevertheless, he moved through the playoffs against the Giants and the Chicago Bears without a bobble. And he gets the 1st down for the Niners. Gary Carman, the rookie from Cornell, replaces Wendell Tyler for the moment. Both backs into the pattern. Montana again with a lot of time. But good coverage by the Dolphin defenders. That pass intended for Mike Wilson. And good coverage by Don McNeil, the cornerback.
Well, I think you could see Montana's little move there was he was trying to say, hey, no, turn and go back out a little bit quicker there to that outside. He was not terribly pleased with the pass pattern that was run.
There's the brain trust on the sidelines. Dan Marino, and that, of course, is Don Strock, the veteran quarterback who's been such a help in the development of young Dan Marino. Talks to him constantly on the sidelines. 2nd down and 10, the 49ers.
Safety blitz. He picked it up. Here goes Joe. Here goes Joe.
Running again, looking for a 1st down. He'll have it. He steps out at the 16-yard line on a 12-yard pickup. Joe Montana is having a day a football player dreams of.
Not only is it a good thing for them to pick up the first down, but I think another thing is how frustrating this must be for Miami's defense when, hey, they rush and he's not there, and when he gets away, he can still pick up his first down.
Joe's an exceptional runner. There you see he gets flushed out of the pocket. This is not a designed play, not a designed run, and he has tremendous presence. Steps in and steps out. He's got himself another first down.
And Joe Montana has broken the Super Bowl record for quarterbacks rushing. He has 60 yards. He broke Roger Staubach's record. First down and 10. Tyler bounces to the outside, and that's the strength I was talking about of Wendell Tyler as he hammers into Lyle Blackwood, who nevertheless drops him after a pickup of a yard.
Lyle hit Wendell high also, but he had a little better luck with Wendell than he did with Russ Francis in the first half.
I would say you're giving away a few pounds. Might have a little more luck.
That's right.
It'll bring up second down and 9. Carl Monroe comes in, number 32 now. Second-year man out of Utah, the little return man of 5'8" and 166 pounds. He joins Roger Craig at setbacks.
First 5 minutes of a half are so critical coming back into the ball game.
That's the tempo.
Solomon splits out left. That's Dwight Clark in the end position. Again, both backs in the pattern. Montana finds Dwight Clark. He comes down with a great concentration, short of the first down, but he's near the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and 4.
From this angle, it looked like he just dropped it right in the bucket, didn't he? Charlie Bowser had pretty good coverage on it.
If there's one pass, I think that is the mark of a truly great quarterback, and this is it right here. You're going to see the coverage that Bowser has. Montana dropping back. He's working this side all the way. He sets up, gets a great little loft on the ball, and look at that thing land right in there.
That's great.
Man's got a touch.
Could not have been more perfectly thrown. Nevertheless, short of the first down. It'll be third down and 4. Solomon goes left. Dwight Clark split wide to the right. One-on-one coverage with Clark and McNeil. Montana tries to get it to Russ Francis. He was well covered, and it will bring up fourth down, and out will come Ray Wersching. They bring out the field goal team. Wersching led the NFL with 131 points, had a good season, 25 of 35. And he is 3 of 5 in postseason play. We have 10:15 remaining in the third quarter. Fog has settled back in, but temporary lights have been put up around this rather ancient stadium. They're on cherry pickers outside, peering in. Montana gets it down, 27-yard attempt. And Wersching is good.
That's going to make McIntyre feel a lot better after his attempted return of the kickoff, which resulted in a last-second field goal for the Dolphins before the half.
On the board, they now lead 31-16, and Golden Walker is back at the 3-yard line, awaiting the kickoff of Ray Wersching. Ray Wersching has 5 field goals in Super Bowl play. That is a Super Bowl record. Of course, he had 4 for 4 in Super Bowl 16. This is Eddie Hill. And Eddie Hill hit at the 30, sprawls over the 30 to the 31, where it'll be first down Miami. And out comes Dan Marino.
You don't want to belabor a point, but Dan has got to take control of this thing now. He's 15 points down, and he's just got to settle down and put a good drive together. This is a similar situation to where he was before the half. You've got to get some points on the board.
Been listening to what you say about him not trying to do it all by himself.
That's the most
important. Well, why not? He's better at this point.
Yeah.
You can do it, it ain't bragging.
First and 10, Miami. Clayton, and Clayton short of the first down, or rather Tony Nathan out of the backfield, gets to the 39-yard line. He'll get 8 out of that. It'll be second down and 2, and again, as we watched in the first half, there will be no huddle. Does 2 things. It gets you more plays in the game, and the defense can't change on you. Marino's in a crowd, and he'll go down. Manu Tuiasosopo, the nose tackle, who came to this team this past year to help shore up that defensive unit from the Seattle Seahawks. former UCLA great. Let's watch him. He's working against a Pro Bowl bound Dwight Stevenson, number 57, and he beats him to the outside.
He gets a little help from the other side also, Frank. And that was Roy Foster. Almost kind of knocked him off of Stevenson. Way to go, Manu.
Even though he got the sack, Marino had time once again for a completion. He just could not find the receiver. 4 down linemen for the 49ers. Marino in trouble again.
6.
He'll go down again. This time, Dwayne Board.
They may have found a nice combination with the 6 defensive backs and 1 linebacker. As we mentioned earlier, that again, Keena Turner is the linebacker that remains, and they turn those big 4 guys loose.
Tickets for the Super Bowl are distributed throughout the entire country, but here in the San Francisco area, we're hearing from a loud partisan 49er group of fans. Cleveland Green trying to do something with Board. He did not do enough, and the punting unit is on. There is Dana McLemore at the 22-yard line. Reggie Roby on to punt. Roby has not kicked to his regular season form. This one he has to dance over and pull out of the air. This time he puts one up. This is a Reggie Roby punt. McLemore takes it at the 25. And that's what happens when you put it high, get the distance, you get the coverage downfield. So the 49ers will have possession. They'll be inside their own 30-yard line. You can hear it. It is a partisan 49er crowd.
Well, the current score, 49ers 31, the Dolphins 16. Now, Miami's defense, Tom, still can't stop the nimble feet of Joe Montana. Montana has now set a new quarterback rushing record of 60 yards. Miami's defense just can't stop the guy running, can they?
No, they haven't. They haven't been able to contain him because when they do put some pressure on him, he gets outside of the pass rush and is able to run, and you just can't allow that. You have to contain him from the outside and pressure him from the inside.
Right. And, of course, there were 2 sacks on Marino consecutively. I mean, how much is that worth psychologically? I mean, that is terrible, isn't it?
Well, psychologically, to an offensive line and a quarterback who's not used to it, it's worth a lot. It's worth a lot more than you would think.
Right. John, what are your thoughts on Miami's defense?
On San Francisco's defense?
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised they've been able to get to Marino, because usually he lets the ball go within 1.4 to 2.4 seconds. He has a very quick release, but they're doing a real good job in that line, and they've been able to get to him. And Dan Marino is really the key to this Miami team. There's Board making the tackle.
Color and pageantry, they're all part of Super Bowl activities. 49ers, first down and 10, the ball at their own 30-yard line. They have scored on the last 4 times they have had possession. And Joe Montana is having a hot evening. Play action once again. Montana again with a lot of time. Wendell Tyler open field. Great running by Wendell Tyler.
Oh, that really was. He didn't break stride either. That ball was right there.
A 40-yard pickup on a little check-off pass over the middle.
Here he makes the play action fake to Tyler. He looks down there. He's really trying to get the ball up the field, but he has such great time and ability to move inside. Tyler makes a great play. Now is when he starts to become very effective. Bounces off with Glenn Blackwood and continues down the field. Forces Lyle to make another tackle.
That's a nice little spin that he had there when he got around Brophy.
First and 10. Montana 16 of 24, 226 yards.
Big Russ.
Russ Branch is wide open.
You bet.
For the 17-yard line, another 49er first down.
There was a little delay by Russ that time. Waited for it to clear out, the linebackers to make their move, and then he slips right on through into the middle. You'll see him in motion. Watch him stop right here for a minute as if he's going to block. Nobody comes. He says, okay, I see a big opening. And there it is.
This is the Bill Walsh offense, and nobody could be better at being a perfect extension of it than Joe Montana. They work so well together. First down, 17-yard line.
This is an audible.
And there's the blitz. And there he is open. Oh, he had 2 guys open.
Montana tries to Got it to Roger Craig out of the backfield. The crowd booing what they thought was pass interference on the part of Brzezinski, but it was not.
Can't fault him one way or another. However, he did have a good crossing pattern, a little bit deeper that time, and it was Russ Francis once more who had gone across. I guess the thing on Bob is he's supposed to be a little bit stronger against the run, and you see him that time doing a heck of a job with his pass.
Well, he's strong with his right hand. He was strong against the run.
He was.
Keeping him back.
It's easy when you do it that way.
Yeah.
2nd and 10.
That was good.
Dwight Clark split left. He's out there with Mike Wilson. Flags fly. Russ Francis shaking his head. We've had few penalties if you were not with us from the start of the game. Here's our referee, Pat Haggerty.
Start, number 81, off base.
Russ Francis just a little eager. What a great athlete, Russ Francis. 6 years up in New England. Great years they were, too. Retired in 1981. Came to the 49ers 1982 for a first-round pick and a fourth-round pick. Good, strong blocker and a very reliable receiver.
All world for those 6 years.
2nd down, 15. Montana, Wendell Tyler, and Tyler at the line of scrimmage, and that's it. As he is covered well there by Bob Brzezinski. That will bring up 3rd down and 15. Or rather 3rd down and 10 as the ball is advanced to the original line of scrimmage.
Person is not well.
Wershing getting ready on the sidelines.
We saw earlier Montana down here throw the ball away and take the field goal. When you've got a 31-16 lead, you want to be sure that you just don't turn it over and give the other team the opportunity to have a good field position and bring it back.
Underneath to Roger Craig, it'll be 6. Roger Craig coming from the right side, crossing the middle, all alone, touchdown 49ers from 16 yards out on 3rd and 10.
Oh, you saw big Keith Barnhurst come in there. He's there he is,
First
Roger
player
Craig.
ever to score 3 touchdowns in a Super Bowl. And the 49ers offensive unit is hot, and their defense is playing well. Frustrating afternoon for the Dolphins and head coach Don Shula. They seemingly can do anything they wish. Wershing bangs it through at 6:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter. And now San Francisco opens up a 38-16 lead.
I can relate to this situation being this far behind. Down here in the, we call it the +20 area or close to the other team's goal, you'll see this is where Miami tries to play a lot of man-to-man defense. There goes Blackwood crossing with the back. Craig comes underneath. His linebacker got caught in the mesh and runs in untouched.
Roger Craig, Joe Montana, a great offensive line, doing a number on the Miami Dolphins. We'll be back in Stanford Stadium in a moment. A 70-yard, 49-yard drive that was culminated with a 16-yard touchdown pass to this man, Roger Craig. That, think back, a 40-yard pickup. It was Montana to Wendell Tyler. Colton Walker, he's been back there a lot today. Settles in at the 2, and Ray Wershing kicks away. Low line drive. Bruce Hardy has it. He covers up the football and gets to the 33-yard line. Let's go to Tom Landry and take a look at that Montana to Wendell Tyler pass that covered 40 yards.
Okay, they have a great fake here. The thing that's killing Miami right now is they're not getting any pass rush on the play. And you see this fake coming in there, Montana. Now you see Collar coming in. The play is downfield. Here's Tyler right here. Because of no pass rush at all, he's able to beat his defensive linebacker and make the big play. See him fold in there. He gets around him. Montana has all the time in the world to pick him up, so there's no problem at all. He almost broke it all the way.
Wendell Tyler, he can run the football. He is also a fine receiver. There's an injured 49er on the field. And out comes the trainers and the medical staff of the 49ers.
Todd Shell.
Well, we will get a positive identification of the 49er that is injured. It's number 90, Todd Shell. whom they're working on. And we'll be returning to Stanford Stadium in Stanford, California in just a moment.
Well, Frank Gifford said it a few minutes ago, a frustrating afternoon for Don Shula and Miami. The game now firmly swinging in San Francisco's way. Is that the way that you view it, Coach?
Yes, I think so. I think if Miami doesn't generate some offense this next drive, it's going to be a long night for them, because they're just not moving the ball at all, and their defense doesn't appear to be able to stop the 49ers.
Now, in fact, a few minutes ago, before while we were just chatting, while we were watching, was that you described this as almost a rout. Is that the way you see it?
Yes. Yeah, it kind of...
Look at this touchdown here on the monitor. This is the last touchdown.
Roger Craig was running a crossing pattern, and the person that was defending him got caught in the mesh, and he goes untouched into the end zone.
Yeah, John?
Well, it just shows the versatility of Craig, and Bill Walsh said this week that he's one of the most underestimated backs in the league.
Now, if you were Don Shula at this point, Coach...
And they're still working on Todd Shell on the sidelines. We will get a report as quickly as we can. Meanwhile, the Miami Dolphins now trailing 38-16, 6:11 remaining in the third quarter, have a 1st and 10, the ball just outside their 33-yard line. 49ers stay in their 4-down linemen. Marino, inside handoff to Nathan. And the ball comes loose after the whistle blows. If there's a gain, it's less than a yard. Let's take a look at that scoring drive again. It started at the 30-yard line. The big black line, well, that's Wendell Tyler, a 40-yard pickup. Yellow, of course, is the penalty.
No runs.
And with that touchdown, the 49ers have tied the Super Bowl record for most points. That, of course, by the Raiders a year ago against the Washington Redskins.
Thank you very much.
Sorry about that, Joe.
That's okay.
2nd down and 9 from the shotgun. Niners take the blitz. They come with it, and Dan Marino is able to get it to Joe Rose. He's short of the 1st down out to the 42-yard line. Jeff Fuller was on a safety blitz.
And you can see Marino trying to point to the referee. Said, hey, he's hitting me late. He's hitting me late. There you go, is the graphic we were talking about. You didn't play defense, though, did you, Joe?
No, I did, but I gave up one in it that contributed a little bit. I can tell you that. I'm glad we're not only at the top in that particular category.
That was the Marino that we have watched all year. Under great pressure, he still was able to flick it and get the completion. Now he needs 2 for the 1st down. Fires, and it's complete, and it goes to Mark Clayton. Clayton will have the 1st down inside the 43-yard line of the 49ers.
Here he comes down. You'll see Clayton's just going to run about an 8-yard post pattern. Breaks inside. Carlton Williams moves on the outside. The ball is still being thrown low. He makes a nice catch all day. Dan's had a little bit of trouble getting the ball up all day, and it's running out of time.
You think Nat Moore ran the proper route that time? He was pretty close to Clayton.
1st and 10, 43-yard line of the 49ers. Tony Nathan. Big opening for Nathan, and Nathan almost pops it. He's inside the 30 to the 27-yard line before he is taken down by Holmo. Another 49er miscue in the middle.
I've got to think when Miami looks up and sees the 6 defensive backs in there, they're saying we've got to run this ball some way. And I think that's true. They've got to get them out of that defense.
You saw 57, Dwight Stevenson, with a fine block in the middle. On 1st down. Marino looking for Clayton. He was well covered by Eric Wright. It's incomplete.
Pass intended for Clayton, incomplete.
Certainly a little more frustration, seemingly, for Mr. Marino than we have seen earlier in the year.
Yeah, he has a tendency. People say he has a tendency to try and force the ball in on that particular play. He did try and force it. That's that little pattern they use where they run the outside people down about 5 yards into the quick post. They run the tight end or the halfback out into the flat. That time, he tried to make something happen. He's got to settle it down. But you're down 38-16. You may as well just wing it.
Don Shula puts in 4 wide receivers. Nat Moore, Jimmy Cephalo. They join Mark Clayton and Mark Duper. Spreading out across the field. Marino looking for 6. And it's picked off. Eric Wright. The one who made the Pro Bowl as an alternate, Ronnie Lott, who made it on the vote, said he is our best defensive back, and he made a great play against Mark Clayton.
It was a terrific play.
Eric Wright used the field. He stepped inside, read the eyes of Mark Clayton, looked back, there it was, and has been a tough day. I think that picture said it all. Just throwing your hands up almost in despair.
See, Clayton tries to go up top. Wright gets a hand on him. He's actually trailing him a little bit. Clayton going to try and go back for the ball. That's just a great defensive play.
It really was. He looked into the eyes of Clayton in that man-to-man coverage, read the ball was about there, and comes down with it.
Could you say that that ball was a yard or two underthrown, or was it just a terrific defensive move, Joe?
I would have to say it was a terrific defensive move, and if the ball had been thrown a little bit further, he might not have intercepted it. Might have just knocked it down.
49ers first down at their own 1-yard line. They try to power it out with Wendell Tyler. He is
Mark Brown.
Mark Brown, who made the defensive unit of these Dolphins with his strength against the run. There is Eric Wright. Again, he made the Pro Bowl as an alternate when Mark Haynes of the New York Giants, injured late in the season, could not report. So he will be joining his teammates, Dwight Hicks, Carlton Williamson, and Ronnie Lott in the Pro Bowl a week from today, which we'll be bringing you right here on ABC. As will this man, Joe Montana. He will direct the NFC. Marino will direct the AFC. Second down and 9. Roger Craig. Roger Craig spots the first down marker, and he gets it. Again, a reminder.
He made the stop.
Third down, Leo.
Made a 7-yard. Third missing yard to go.
Craig did not get the first down as they marked it short of the 11-yard line, so it's third down and short.
This is an area sometimes where the 49ers may try and a little bit of different kinds of plays, put the ball up deep, try and get something big, and
Like that.
voila!
Freddie Solomon on a third down and less than a yard. Play action. It held everyone. Solomon was open, beating Lyle Blackwood. First down, 49ers, and nothing they do doesn't work today.
It's obvious Bill Walsh is not going to just sit on a lead. He's going to continue to be the aggressor. Another play action fake to Wendell Tyler. Joe looks out to the flat first, and Freddie's coming across the middle. Good play.
No pressure on him that time. I saw Freddie Solomon come in late to the huddle, so it was a last-minute decision by Walsh to do that.
And a good one.
Brilliant game plan for Bill Walsh into today's game. Everything works. On first down, Roger Craig, draw play. And Craig up to the 30-yard line. He'll get 6. It'll be second down and 4. We're running out of time in the third quarter. 1:50 and the clock is moving. Certainly a well-played game. Few flags, few turnovers, and this man has absolutely been marvelous. Everything he has done has been to perfection.
One of the things they've remarked about Joe Montana is his ability to bring himself up to the occasion of the football game. There's no question he's playing as great as any quarterback has played in any Super Bowl in this particular one.
Mike Wilson, 85, wide receiver in the ball game. Roger Craig follows Wendell Tyler. Tyler with a block, and Craig powers out to the 40-yard line. Another 49er first down, and Lyle Blackwood and Glenn Blackwood are making most of the tackles, and that's not good when you're playing safety position.
And Lyle is saying right now it's not good because these guys are getting such a head start. They're running at me. He's still hitting him a little bit high, Joe.
I think so. I think you ought to drop it down just a little bit, just for his own sake. He's going to have to hit. No, come here, Lyle.
The Bruise brothers, as they're known, will be the Bruised brothers by the time this game is over. They have made so many tackles in that secondary. First and 10. The Niners at their 40-yard line.
This is another place where the 49ers like to take a shot.
Montana fires to Russ Francis. Or rather, Dwight Clark. Dwight Clark with a gain of 7 yards.
Ron McNeil made the stop.
His own quiet way, Dwight will catch 5 or 6 before the game's over. I think that's his third reception. See there, third plus 2 is 5.
You're so accurate.
Yeah.
Time is running out in the third quarter, and the 49ers are going to let it run out. They lead 38-16. And the 49ers being saluted by a crowd of 85,000 here at Stanford Stadium.
Your attention, please, Mr. Jay Rader. Please contact the Stanford Police. Mr. Jay Rader.
Super Bowl 19 from Stanford Stadium, and certainly they have really put on a tremendous effort in the San Francisco area. Of course, the task force that brought Super Bowl 19 here, headed by Quentin Kopp, but Mayor Dianne Feinstein, all of the people of San Francisco have got behind to put on a great effort. Second down and 4. Gary Carmen, a rookie from Cornell, struggling for that first down, surges forward, he'll get it as he moves into Dolphin territory, and that is the 27th first down for the 49ers as they are working now on yet another record. We're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Yeah. You're watching Channel 4.
The Super Bowl 19.
Super Bowl 19.
Took the lead at 7-3 with 33-yard touchdown pass to Carl Monroe. Seesawed back and forth, and then in the second quarter, the 49ers took over, and they have dominated since then. On 1st and 10, Wendell Tyler loses his footing and sprawls at the line of scrimmage. Take a look at the stats from halftime. It was a big second quarter for the 49ers, and then we will fold that over through the third quarter for you.
The only turnover, Frank, was the fumble that we saw right before halftime. And the 49ers haven't slowed. Look at this, 444 yards.
That is a lot of yardage with nearly a full quarter remaining to be played. And Wendell Tyler, who slipped on that play, limps off the field. Gary Carmen, the rookie from Cornell, the 9th round draft pick, replaces Tyler in the lineup. And they try him immediately. He works to the 46-yard line for a gain of a couple in the arms of Mark Brown. Third down, long yardage now for Joe Montana.